So here with Doug Sprouse, Taskforce Trainee here, and yeah, just so we saw a column from Silver Lake today, and a lot of other smaller communities in the area. What's going on over here in your neck of the woods?
Well, our crews have been doing quite a bit of burning in pre-treated areas over the past couple weeks, and what we got going on is the fire did hold in the areas where the work we've been doing, but have not been able to get around the entire fire. So what was not contained is still moving with the return to hotter temperatures, lower humidities, and a little bit of wind.
Okay, and you say pre-treated. Can you elaborate a little bit on what pre-treated means?
Fuels treatments, so thinning and piling or getting rid of the excess fuel, wood, that's removed, usually with heavy equipment or even by hand. So thinning the forest and a combination of that and prescribed fire. So controlled burns when conditions are under what we like to see. So little milder conditions than what we get typically this time of year, or what would typically be later in the summer than this year.
Okay.
Extreme drought, very low fuel moistures.
And you've been around, Doug. You've worked in various places, and what are you seeing here on the Bootleg fire? I guess, what stands out to you in terms of anything with fuel dryness, fire behavior? Have you ever experienced day after day red flags?
Yeah, it's not anything out of the ordinary for the new normal. And especially with this year, where we're just day after day of heat and very little rain, if any. The main thing is, even with a little bit of moisture and even when we have seen a little more humidity, is the heavy fuels, the larger logs, are so dry that it's not affecting the, they're still carrying the fire when under normal conditions you wouldn't see this kind of fire behavior, but just that extended drought, extended heat is what's driving the fire behavior that we're seeing now.
Wow. So you mentioned you're a task force leader. What's your roles and responsibilities as a task force leader here?
Task force leader gets direction from the division, and under me we have a number of resources, so light and heavy engines, heavy equipment, dozers, bulldozers, and we get our assignment from division, which comes down from above then, and we carry it out through the night.
So you're essentially in a supervisory role out here, and you have different types of equipment and different resources. So what are some of the successes that you guys have had recently?
Okay, so this is only my third shift, but I got a good briefing from the previous task force leader. The success was when they were seeing extreme fire behavior in untreated fuels, as we just discussed, hit the treated fuels, the fire would drop from the crown down to the ground, and they were able to catch fire, slow the movement much more easily, especially working at night when the fire came in and hit those pre-treated fuels.
Okay.
The obstacles
the challenges.
The obstacles that we're seeing is lack of resources available nationally. We've got so much going on in the West right now, and overall national organization is prioritizing where resources go. And although this is a high priority fire, there is a lot going on right now.
Yeah, so we're in one of those. It seems like every year we get into these all hands on deck situations. So we bring folks from all over the nation to help out and plug into this ICS system, right? So tell us about your story. Where are you from?
I am from Mississippi. I'm the prescribed fire and fuel specialist for the Mississippi River Zone. It does include some suppression roles, but for the most part, I coordinate prescribed fire and fuels treatments for 5 states, 29 park units, about 12 of those being high fire activity parks and of decent size. So that area goes from Kentucky south to the Gulf Coast, including Louisiana, east to the Panhandle of Florida.
So when you see these fuel treatments like you talk about, you're pretty much, that's your wheelhouse. That's what you do. That's what you study, and you see the effects they have on these large fires, right?
Yes, definitely. It's definitely a success story protecting the Nature Conservancy property right here where we are standing.
Okay, and once again with Doug Sprouse, one of the task force leaders out here, Division Lima. Night shift. Can you tell me any of the challenges or difficulties with night shift, like personally or even with operationally?
So first off, challenge is seeing one of our watch out situations is ground not seen in the daylight. And a lot of our resources that come in have come in at night and have not seen this ground in the daylight and go directly to work. So that's a watch out situation to start with. On top of that, no matter how good you are, fatigue from sleeping at day and working at night when you haven't been doing it for years or even weeks or months is a challenge. So fatigue builds up rather quickly for people that are not used to working nights, sleeping days. Down in camp, we do have sleep trailers set up now. It improves the sleeping conditions, but still not ideal, not great.
Well, thank you for being here at night to keep the operations going. Like I said earlier, with some of our messaging, is that we are working around the clock to fight this fire. We're going direct. This is a full suppression, direct attack in most places, and Doug's just one of these guys helping keep things lined out and supervision here at night. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.